Ladies and gentlemen, people of the internet, today I will be sharing with you 3 more altcoins that I'm watching extremely closely these days. And of course, in my top 10 altcoin picks videos, these were a few that just narrowly missed out on that list. So I wanted to shout them out here. But before we get started, if you're a cryptocurrency enthusiast or you just enjoy learning about innovative tech like cryptocurrency and blockchain, then you're in the right place here on the channel. Please do consider subscribing and hitting that little bell notification button so you'll get a heads up whenever I post new content right here. Now, this list is in no particular order, so don't get stressed out about my rankings of these coins. I'm also not telling you to go dump a bunch of money into these coins. This is just my opinion based on fundamentals, and of course, I'm not equipped to give you financial advice, so this is not financial advice. With that out of the way, let's dive into the very first pick, and that is a project that I think deserves a share of the attention in the Oracle space, and that is Tellor. Tellor does not have the same level of hype that Chainlink does, but it also takes a different and equally impressive approach to the same problem, and that is getting off-chain data onto on-chain smart contracts securely and trustfully. Rather than creating a general framework for any type of Oracle data like Chainlink did, Tellor went the other direction to create a more niche Oracle solution that's perfect for the burgeoning DeFi market. See, one of the most critical attack vectors for decentralized finance applications, or DeFi, that rely on smart contracts to make consequential decisions on how to move millions of dollars in cryptocurrency is the price feed data used to make those decisions. Smart contracts aren't really smart, and they only make decisions deterministically based on the data that they're given. So Tellor seeks to solve that problem for DeFi products to make the whole process more secure in terms of the data used for that conditional logic. Tellor is an ingenious blend of proof of work and proof of stake mechanisms to keep data providers honest and incentivized to behave properly, where a data provider must provide stake in the native tribute token to participate in a data job and then participate in a proof of work challenge to introduce the ever important Sybil attack protection in terms of sunk cost. Now, the first 5 data providers to procure a qualified proof of work value will then be allowed to provide their data to the Oracle, which is then averaged into a median value, again, to make the data less prone to manipulation, and then the data providers are rewarded in tribute tokens for their work provided by consumers of these data feeds. If, for some reason, the data provided is found to be manipulated or of poor quality by a vote on-chain, the contributing data providers will lose the stake they put in at the advent of that data job in tribute tokens. So this whole process is incredibly clever, and it introduces multiple layers of economic incentive and disincentive that are critical to a secure network. This means that DeFi products can participate natively on-chain in procuring secure median data price feeds for their use in highly sensitive smart contracts. Now, I love Tellor, and I think that they should be up there with Chainlink when discussing oracles, even though they're 2 very different projects. They're both very creative and clever solutions, and I think both have a place up in that top tier. By the way, please do let me know your favorite altcoin projects down in the comments below, because I'm genuinely interested to see what picks you have that I might not have. Now, for my second pick of the day, and one that narrowly missed my top 10, is another platform project in the same vein as Ethereum that provides a proof-of-stake network on which to deploy decentralized applications, and that project is Algorand. Now, Algorand is a unique beast because it's arguably the most true to spec in terms of how proof-of-stake is implemented on this network. What I mean by that is the amount of algos, the native coin in Algorand, directly equates to your weighted chance of being selected as a block-making entity in the network for a given round of consensus. I cannot stress enough how hard it is to take pure proof of stake, make it secure, and fast. It's been a traditional trade-off, and actually Algorand talks about the great trilemma in the world of blockchain, and that is trying to be secure, trying to be fast, and trying to be overall decentralized all at the same time. Now, I think Algorand has one of the most compelling implementations I've seen to date, and they use verifiable randomness in tandem with a publicly known seed value for each block, so that each node can self-identify selection to participate in the consensus process. This eliminates the need for wasteful computation across the network to select block makers, and it also allows for easily verifiable proof of selection throughout the network. Throughout the process, though, stake-based selection reoccurs to propose the blocks, then vote on blocks, and then to certify and append a new winning block. So the group of nodes that is selected for one part doesn't hold all the power at any given time, and it's constantly rotating. Now, I could spend an entire hour just talking about the consensus process, but alas, we have a limited time here because we have to get to the third pick. So I have an immense amount of respect for the technical work that's been done to implement this protocol because it's a well-tuned consensus process that does offer a strong solution to the need for secure and scalable consensus that is not proof of work. Now, the first mainnet release for Algorand came in mid-2019, and then within 6 months of that, a second release brought a ton of new features to the network, which to me is quite impressive because these releases are often very difficult to coordinate. Now, the second phase laid the groundwork for what I think will take Algorand to the next level, and that is programmable logic and tokenization on the network. So along with a basic implementation of Layer 1 or main chain smart contracts, the protocol updates included native digital asset creation functionality to allow developers to easily create, manage, and transfer both fungible and non-fungible assets on Algorand. I did some digging into this, and within a few minutes, I was able to get a little test implementation created using JavaScript, and that's really impressive how easy it really was. What's more, the way that digital asset features are built, they're almost tailor-made for enterprise applications with bundled atomic transactions to help bundle transactions together and role-based access control or RBAC. I mean, the sky is the limit for Algorand in my opinion, not to mention the fact that they're already working on a new smart contract programming language with Blockstack, which will likely end up being a worthy competitor for Michelson, Plutus, and Solidity, some other languages in the world, when it comes to release time. Now, count me a big fan and supporter of Algorand, and I will be watching for them to start getting some adoption in the financial services space, especially in the coming years. I think they're ready for it. Anyways, let's get on to number 3. The third pick of the day is another project tackling what I believe to be the most valuable technical challenge in blockchain networks today, and that is interoperability, and in reality, scaling kind of goes along with it. Now, you're actually going to get a 2-for-1 here because this is a unique one. The project that I want to talk about today is Kusama, the currently operating Canary version of Polkadot, the ambitious interoperability and scalability network solution in the blockchain world. Now, what I mean by this as the Canary network is that Kusama is the unaudited proving ground version of Polkadot's code, meaning Kusama's running what Polkadot will be when it comes into fruition. So Kusama is the real network with real users, real tokens, and real money involved, but it's not the polished, audited mainstream version of the code that will end up being Polkadot. However, because Polkadot is a really complex project that requires a lot of TLC and auditing and testing before it can go live, Kusama has gotten a lot of the attention that it deserves, really, because it's quite literally Polkadot tech available to use right now. Now, you can get KSM tokens right now and start using this amazing network based on Polkadot. And it's such a weird situation because when I talk about what Kusama offers, I'm also technically talking about what Polkadot offers. So I guess both projects are my third pick. Essentially, what we have here is a large-scale network solution that intends to offer scalable interoperability between many blockchain networks. The complexity behind this project is in fact so deep that I can't even scratch the surface of the specifics of the protocol without making everything confusing or making an entire video. But what I can tell you is that the Polkadot and subsequently Kusama network offers a relay chain, which serves as the main interoperability layer between various other blockchain implementations, which are called parachains. In the vision for the network, each parachain will likely be its own thriving blockchain ecosystem focused on a specific use case, community, or purpose. And in the event communication must occur between multiple parachains, the relay chain in the center essentially can be used as connective tissue between them to help secure the network at large. Now, this is the key right here, because what makes this model interesting is that it's not only built a method to share state and network different blockchains together, it solves for the big weak link in these solutions, the weakest link syndrome. Essentially, when you enable cross-chain transactions, and especially cross-chain execution of smart contracts, one chain being susceptible to reversals or malicious mining means that the entire network can fall apart even if you cross your T's and dot your I's on most of the network. The weakest link brings everyone down. Kusama and of course Polkadot get around this by delegating the security of cross-chain transactions, state changes, and finality to the relay chain, this connective tissue. Now, this means that you can have many parallel blockchains that can communicate with each other, but don't necessarily have to trust each other because the relay chain is there to sort of secure the network as a delegate. Now, I can't even begin to express how much work has gone into this project, and it's been around for a while now. And that's why Kusama has gotten so much buzz. First of all, it's badass, and it's an implementation of Polkadot and the ambitious design behind it that we can use now, but the hype associated with both of these projects and the groundbreaking tech behind it is really what makes it a unique top pick in my book, and it only narrowly missed my top 10 list. So it's definitely one to watch to see if the vision for Polkadot comes to fruition, and of course, Kusama will likely remain in operation. Of course, if you missed out on my top 10 altcoin picks videos, I will link up that content here on the screen somewhere if you want to give that a watch. And please do let me know your favorite altcoins in the comments below. I am genuinely curious to see what everyone's into. Thank you in advance, and until next time, cheers.